Greetings everyone. In this video we'll be looking at NCEA Level 1 Mathematics Common Assessment Task, Algebra. As you're aware that there are different types of factorization techniques that you need to be familiar with for this achievement standard. In my previous videos I've already done types 1, 2 and 3. If you haven't already, please do check that one out. In this video I'll be looking at factorizing quadratics in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 1. So in this case, we'll be looking at splitting the middle term and factorizing it by grouping. So we'll have a look at this example. It says factorize 12x squared plus 17x take away 5. So in this case, as you can see, the a value, the coefficient of x squared is not equal to 1. So in this case, it's 12. So the method for factorizing this is what we need to do first is multiply the coefficient of x squared with the constant. So in this case I will multiply 12 with negative 5, and then that gives me a product of negative 60. So those two multiplies to negative 60. Then what I will do is I will find all the factors of 60, which are 1 and 60 and so forth. And then we need to look for the pair which adds to the middle term, which is 17. So in this case 3 and 20 looks promising because the difference between 20 and 3 is 17, which is our middle term. So the numbers are 20 and negative 3, because if I go negative 3 times 20 I will get negative 60, and negative 3 plus 20 will give me positive 17. So using these two numbers, I will now split the middle term. I've got 12x squared plus 20x. This is one of my factors there. 20x take away 3x. So 17 is now same as 20 take away 3x. These two factors that I had. And then minus 5. And then I've got the first group here. And then I'll look for the highest common factor and factorize each pair or group. So in this case 12x squared and 20x, so common factor is 4x, so I'm taking out the highest common factor, and then we'll leave the remainder inside the bracket. So 4x times 3x will give me 12x squared, and 4x times 5 will give me positive 20x. So that's factored there. Then I have to repeat the same process. So find the common factor between minus 3x and minus 5. Aim is to get the same factor in the second bracket that's there, so that we can have the common factor inside the two brackets. And a common error students make over here is when they do not fully factorize. For example, they write it as 4 into 3x squared plus 5x. So you forgot to take out the factor which was x, which is also common, or you forgot to take out 4 as a common factor between 12 and 20, and leaving your first bit as x into 12x plus 20. So please be mindful of this. You need to take out highest common factor between each pair. So here we've got 4x, and over here you can see that it's negative 1. So I'll put minus 1 into 3x plus 5, because negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x, negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. Now the aim was to get the same factor in the two brackets. So I've got 3x plus 5, 3x plus 5, so this is now common. So once I've got the common factor of 3x plus 5, I can put that in one bracket, and the remainder here is 4x take away 1, so that goes in the second bracket, and that's it, done. So the final answer is 3x plus 5, and in the other bracket it's 4x take away 1. Hope this makes sense. I would suggest if you can pause the video and try and do this yourself and see if your answer matches with this. Example 2, factorize 2x squared minus 9x plus 9. So we'll multiply the coefficient of x squared with the constant. So if we multiply that, the product is equal to 18. 9 times 2 is 18. Then we find the factors of 18. So 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Then the next step is you look for a pair which gives you the middle term of -9, and in this case 3 and 6 looks promising because -3 and -6 will add to -9. So using these two numbers, I will now split the middle term. So splitting the middle term will result into 2x squared minus 6x minus 3x plus 9. Now you've got to be very careful in which order you are writing the two numbers that you have got there. I'm unable to write minus 3x because next step will be factorizing this pair. So if I wrote 2x squared minus 3x, then I know that 2 cannot go into negative 3. So in that case, I will not be able to factorize this part. So it's always good to think ahead and see if 2 can go into 6. The answer is yes, so I will put it there, and then it's easier for us to factorize because the ultimate goal is to get the two common factors in the brackets. So once I've got the groupings there, then I will look for the highest common factor and factorize each group. So in this case 2x squared minus 6x, as you can see here, 2x is common, so you must take the highest common factor. So 2x is common, and then 2x times x will give me 2x squared, so x goes there, minus 2x times 3 will give you negative 6x, so 2x into x minus 3. So that part is done. We'll repeat the process with the second pair. So aim now is to get the same factor in the second bracket, and the way we can do that is if I take out negative 3 and then leave the rest inside the bracket, you will see that minus 3 times x will give me minus 3x, and negative 3 times negative 3 will give me positive 9. So this way I'm able to get the same factor in both the brackets. Now we can see that there is a common factor of x minus 3 in both the brackets, so that can be written in one bracket, and the remainder is 2x take away 3 goes in the second bracket, and then you're done. Remember, factorize means you're writing the sum into the corresponding product. So this is the product form for 2x squared minus 9x plus 9. Moving on, we'll look at the third example, factorize 5m squared minus 6m take away 11. So in this case, the coefficient of m squared is 5, so we will multiply 5 with negative 11, and the product is negative 55. And what I will do next is I'll find the factors of positive 55. So we'll look at the factors 1 and 55, 5 and 11, but keep in mind one of the numbers should be negative to get overall negative result, negative 55. So once I've looked at this, it's easier for us to see that the difference between 5 and 11 is 6. So the pair 5 and 11 looks promising in this case, and our numbers are negative 11 and 5, because minus 11 times 5 is minus 55, and minus 11 plus 5 will give you the middle term, which is minus 6. Now we'll use this to split the middle term. So splitting the middle term results into 5m squared plus 5m. Now in this case you need to pause and think whether you should write 11 first, minus 11 first, or 5. And in this case I have chosen to write 5 because next step we need to take out the highest common factor. So if I'm putting 5 here, then I can take 5 out as the common factor there. So if I put 11 there, then I will not be able to take that number out. So just always think of that, because if you switch these around, then you might not end up with a common factor in the brackets that you are after. So once I've got the groupings done, so after splitting I've got the two pairs. So each group you can factorize that by looking for the highest common factor. So in the first group here I've got 5m, because 5 is common, as well as m, so 5m into m plus 1. And then in the second one I can see minus 11. So our aim is to get the same factor in the second bracket, and we want to get m plus 1 here. So if I take out minus 11, that will leave me with m plus 1. And now you can see that we were able to achieve the goal of getting the same factor in both the brackets. So once I've got that, you can quickly check minus 11 times m is minus 11m, and minus 11 times 1 is minus 11. So we've got the same factors in both the brackets. So there's a common factor of m plus 1. So what you do then is put that in one bracket, m plus 1, and the remainder, which was 5m, take away 11, goes in the second bracket, and then you're done. I would suggest if you can pause the video and try this yourself. In summary, these are the steps you need to follow. So first things first, you need to multiply the coefficient of x squared and the constant, in this case a times c, and then you list all the pairs of numbers that multiply to give you that product AC. Once you've got that, then you select the pair which adds to the middle term, which is b, and you look for the pair where the sum or difference of the two factors is the middle number in the original expression that you're factorizing, and then you split the term using these factors. In this case, you will end up with 4 terms. You pair them and then factorize by taking out the highest common factor. So once you've taken out the common factor, then you can put the common one in the first bracket, and then the remainder goes in the second bracket. Hope this makes sense. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.